Hey Internet, today we're going to be talking about how to create seamless audio loops. Now depending on what you're trying to loop, there are a couple different ways that you can achieve a loop. Some are going after actually making something that is seamlessly loopable, and some are going after kind of creating the illusion of something being seamlessly loopable. But I had a couple people ask me, how do you do this? So I'm going to walk through two different ways you can create a seamless loop. Let's dive in. Also, fun fact, this is my cat Lou. What's up, bud? Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and look at how we can create some seamless loops. Now, depending on what you're trying to create a loop for, there are different ways to go about creating a loop that are more conducive for the different things you could be creating. So first off, we're going to look at how to loop something that's musical or has it has moments in it that we can use to essentially distract the listener from any sort of hiccup or error in our loop. So our goal is going to be to replicate the music loop that's in one of the first levels of the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And so this is Jerry Was Race Car Driver by Primus, and we're going to take this section of the piece and this section of the track and put them together and loop the whole thing to make some cool awesomeness. These aren't exact placements for anything, they're just general ballparks of the area that I want to loop, just to save us some time there. So first off, I'm just going to take this, put it on its own track, and I'm going to mute that. And our goal is to have this file begin as close to the transient, or the moment when that kick drum hits in at the very beginning, and at the end, our goal is to have this end, is to make this end as close as possible to the kick drum or beginning of the next phrase. So it seems like when we naturally are going to have something loud and sudden take place, that it goes back to the beginning. So it doesn't sound unexpected and we don't hear the inherent, or we essentially don't notice the inherent error that's in the loop file. So let's just give this a listen. I'm gonna just, again, I'm zooming in real far here, like before things really begin to make any sort of change from unity. I'm gonna go here, and you see we want to get right before that big spike. I'm going to go to roughly here. And also Ableton likes to throw on some fades automatically. I'm going to take those off. If it's a small enough fade, it can work, but for our purposes, we're going to try and do this without any fades whatsoever. So now let's give this a listen. Seems to come in pretty good. We don't hear anything before that initial smack of the snare drum, and at the end I can hear the at the very end of the next part. Or wait, perhaps I'm hearing this little bit of silence here. Yeah, alright, so let's bring this back to maybe about there and just test that ending again. It seems a little, just a tad early. I'm gonna go to here. Try it out. Yeah, that feels better. So we have that constant groove, that tempo doesn't seem interrupted, it just seems like it naturally goes back to the beginning. Got it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing for this part of the track as well. Bring it down here. And I'm going to get rid of these fades at the beginning and end of this clip, because we don't need them. Alright, so for this one, we have that little bit of silence at the very beginning. Obviously, we want to get rid of that. And you'll notice here that we have a little bit of the guitar notes starting, but the kick drum comes in here. The kick drum is what's going to be the most prominent signifier when we're listening to it of what the downbeat is. So I'm going to bet that it's going to sound better if we get right up to the kick drum, as opposed to including that little bit of guitar that's in front of it. So it has that punch in right there. And we're going to do the same thing, try and get the ending as close as possible to the beginning of the next phrase. Yeah. All right, so that's when the next phrase starts. I'm going to go right here, and we're going to see about that. I'm going to go here, and then I am going to put this right there. All right, now let's start from the beginning. Whoops. Oh no. All right, start from the beginning. That's a good clean open. Let's see how it loops. That seems pretty good. Okay, so these both work on their own. They are seamless, but we ultimately want to be able to combine these together. So I'm going to take this and snap this right up to the edge of the other one. Okay. So they're both next to each other. I'm going to get this loop right on this moment. And that's fine where it is. Okay. Now let's listen. We just essentially need to listen to this moment when we go from this part to this part, and from the ending here back to the beginning. Pretty seamless to me. I think that we can make this one a little better. Just maybe bring it down a little bit like that. See what that sounds like. Nope, that is too much. I think my ear's just playing tricks on me. Okay, so at that point, we would then select this and bounce just that, and that would be our seamlessly loopable audio file. We've taken this section of the song, this section of the song, and we've put them together to create its own thing. So that's a lot of trial and error and kind of just slightly moving things so that they line up and give the impression of something being seamlessly loopable, even though it's actually not. Okay, now let's look at looping something that's not musical, that's more textural. So I've got a ambience here of a bazaar. So we've got some activity happening, but right now if we were to loop it on its own, notice there's a pretty obvious moment there when the file loops. So let's get rid of that. In order to do that, this is a lot quicker, a lot easier than music. It doesn't take nearly as much finagling to line stuff up. All I'm going to do is just create a split in that clip there, and then I'm going to take the section that's up front here and I'm going to move it to the end. Okay, because now remember, this was in front, so this material here, this content, is what was naturally leading into this content. So when this loops, it's going to naturally feel like it's just continuing itself. And in order to get rid of this section in the center here, I am just going to create a trusty crossfade. So now, loop is on, let's listen to it. Get rid of these fades in case it tries to add any fade to it. And there you go. seamlessly loopable audio file. You can also salt and pepper how long you want your audio file itself to be for your particular situation. So yeah, seamless audio files. Hope this video was helpful to those that are interested in audio and music, especially in the realm of games. Looping is incredibly important. You create assets that need to be looped a lot. If you have any questions about game, audio, or music, or anything I covered in this video, please feel free to throw them in the comments. And if you'd like some game, audio, music implementation goodness in your inbox every once in a while, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to check out unlockaudio.com. Thanks so much for watching.